By the end of today's episode, you'll know exactly how famous actress Sigourney Weaver of the Alien series grew her film acting career. Welcome to the Actor's Career Compass, where we help aspiring screen actors find high-quality auditions, sign with great agents, and book major roles in legit productions. I'm your host, Martin Benson, and in today's episode, we'll be discussing how Sigourney Weaver booked her breakout role in Alien and the specific action steps that you can take to move your own career forward as well. Sigourney Weaver was born in 1949 in New York City. Her name was actually Susan Weaver, but she changed it to Sigourney for acting purposes. As an aside, many actors change their name because their name is already taken in SAG-AFTRA, as there can only be one person with a particular name in the union. Some actors also change their name because they feel it's too difficult for people to pronounce or say properly, and of course some also change it just for general marketing purposes. Even some actors change their name if they want to keep their personal life private. Anyway, back to Sigourney. She wound up attending the Yale School of Drama, where she studied acting, and she was actually classmates with a few soon-to-be famous actors, one of which was Meryl Streep. Now, after Yale, she worked on a number of small productions in little theaters, and she also booked some off-Broadway roles and regional theater roles. Over time, she auditioned for lots of things, and she wound up booking a few small co-star and guest star roles for television shows in the 70s. And she'd also booked a small, very small role in Woody Allen's film Annie Hall. Basically, through her continued perseverance in auditioning, she wound up finding herself in the audition room for the role of Ripley in Ridley Scott's famous film Alien in 1979, and she wound up booking it. Obviously, when it came to her booking that role, her acting ability had to be on point, so that was one of the key reasons that she booked it. But even more importantly was how right she was for the character. She is 6 feet tall, and she has a very strong, commanding presence. And Ridley Scott felt that that made for a great female lead in such a movie as Alien, which is kind of a mixture of horror and action. Now, her extensive list of credits and training also solidified the trust factor in Ridley Scott's mind, meaning he could trust her that she would do a great job if she was booked as the lead in the role. If she had no credits, it might have hurt her, and she probably wouldn't have booked it. They wouldn't have been sure about how good she'd do. Now, of course, at the time, no one knew how successful Alien would become. It was just another film. Believe it or not, Ridley Scott was not really known at all. He had just done some small independent films and some commercials beforehand. Now, of course, after Alien did blow up, there were numerous sequels that were made, and Sigourney Weaver has continued to do many other films, including the Avatar series. So she's been doing a lot and has kept her career going over time. At the end of the day, there are a few key takeaways from Sigourney Weaver's story. Number one is that perseverance and great acting are critical. It took Sigourney 6 years from graduation until she booked Alien. And even then, of course, she didn't know that the role in Alien would make her famous. But she kept training and auditioning, and she kept taking on small roles and steadily building her credits over time. Second key takeaway is, of course, that you don't know what films will become famous. Small indie films always have the possibility of being picked up by a mainstream distribution company. So you should never really discount performing in them and auditioning for them. Obviously, if you're part of SAG-AFTRA, let's say, and it's a non-union film, then you can't perform in it. But there's still plenty of independent films that are union. Even for short films, if the film is very good, the short film, it could win an award at a major festival. And some of those films wind up getting a budget to reshoot as a feature. And if your performance was very strong in the short film, they might cast you in it again, and that film could get major distribution. The final takeaway is that focusing on your strengths is very important. Even if you're not a 6-foot-tall, commanding woman like Sigourney Weaver, you of course can still find roles that you are right for. They should be roles that you enjoy playing. The clearer that you are on the characters you're right for, the higher your shot of booking them. So that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for listening. Now, if you want to dive even deeper on getting clear on the perfect roles and brand, and how to use it to book more roles that you're perfect for, I highly recommend checking out my podcast episode called Book SAG-AFTRA Auditions by Building a Brand You're Proud Of, which is episode number 82. You're going to learn a lot, and you're going to have a much better understanding of brand and how to use it to advance your career. Again, that's episode number 82, Book SAG-AFTRA Auditions by Building a Brand You're Proud Of, on the